pressing question. What exactly is consciousness?
Your brain has is rather coming out from consciousness.
A rock. Does this rock
Mhm.
suck kind of pain or some kind of emotion?
Not in the expressive state, you can say. This entire universe is a play of consciousness.
Ending to,
Escape.
let's suppose,
Yeah.
heaven, or let's suppose that supermind, but you're bringing that
Yeah.
supermind down. I think that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
We could know that everything there is to be known about a bat, but we still won't really know what it is like to be a bat.
Where you know everything, you know the truth, you know everything. You don't have to analyze, you don't have to, the mind stops to think.
So before we move on to the actual episode, if you guys want to support us, you can do that by liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as well as you guys can follow us on our socials. The link will be provided in the description box. So let's move on to the video. Hey guys, the Double Take here, back with another episode. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic. It's going to be about consciousness. And consciousness is Pruthak and mine's favorite topic. So we'll be diving deep into what is consciousness. Is consciousness fundamental? Is conscious? Does the neurons that fire in our brain give a subjective experience? Is that related to consciousness or not? And to help us dive deep into what exactly is consciousness, we have a very special guest with us. Pruthak, would you like to introduce the guest?
Sure. Today we have with us Dr. Namita Mohanty. She is the professor of English and had her PhD thesis on Sri Aurobindo's literature. Now, as we all know, Sri Aurobindo is a great pioneer of Indian spirituality and has done a lot of work on consciousness and spirituality and all other parallel fields. And this makes our guest automatically qualified to speak on this topic with such depth. So, without any further ado, let's start with the most pressing question. What exactly is consciousness?
Okay, hello, and thank you, Prithak and Aryan, for having me here in this show. I won't say I'm an expert in this, though I have done a little bit of study. But this topic, this subject interests me a lot, and so I'd love to talk on this. So you have asked me a very basic question, a very fundamental question. That's what is consciousness? And often people confuse consciousness with mind, soul, self, etc., etc. So let me explain in very simple words that consciousness is an inner awareness. It is a state of being aware about your inner self and also about the world around you. Right? It's like the experience that you have when you watch a sunset. Your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas that is formed within you, uh, that that experience that you have, that is consciousness, right?
Right. And to help our guests drill down this topic, I've heard that there's this famous paper published by Thomas Nagel back in 1974, I believe. It says, like, what is it like to be a bat? So it's a very fundamental question. What is it like to be a bat? Now, you know that bats, they they are blind. Not really blind, but like they can't see
Yeah,
very
they
well.
can't
Yeah.
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
they move
So,
by the sound
yeah,
and all those wavelengths.
echolocation. They move by echolocation. What they basically do is they take this little shrieks, they produce shrieks, and this sound is a very high frequency sound that goes and
Yes.
bounces off of objects, right? And this object then tells the sounds then tells the bat what their surrounding looks like, and it gives a like a very visual kind of like a field of
Yes.
sounds, and they can
Yes.
guess everything like hunt preys and everything with this echolocation. Now,
Yes.
what the famous paper basically said is that this we can't really know what it is like to be a bat. We know everything, we could know that everything there is to be known about a bat, but we still won't really know what it is like to be a bat. Like, what is it
Exactly.
like to feel that echolocation thing? Am I on the right track?
Yes, you can just analyze. Yeah, you can
Hmm.
just analyze like with your scientific experiments and all, you can
Hmm.
analyze that things are happening like this. Okay, things are
Hmm.
happening like this. So the bat must be feeling this way, must be uh, um, seeing the things this way.
Mm.
But
But
how
I,
exactly?
I think it is very similar to what, let's suppose, I'm talking to Pruthak and I gave him a compliment that I think Pruthak is very smart. And in my head, I think Pruthak would feel very happy about it. But do I actually know what amount of
Yeah,
happiness or
that's very
an
interesting.
experience of happiness does like did Pruthak experience? I think that's why,
Yes.
fundamentally speaking, my way of projecting that happiness on Pruthak might be very different to the actual happiness that Pruthak experienced.
Exactly, exactly. Like that's why we say this feeling we can't exactly define. That's why they say, consciousness. Like, let's understand it a little deeper. Consciousness is something like it's beyond definition. It's an experience. It's an experience. We can't say that just for simplifying to make people understand. We say yes, it's the inner this thing and that, but it's exactly your awareness. For example, suppose I watch a sunset. I feel happy. Okay. Somebody else also watches the same sunset, but he doesn't or she doesn't feel happy. I mean, she says it's okay. I mean, it's just a kind of riot of colors on the western sky. That's it. So why this difference? Why this subjectivity? Let's understand this, that consciousness is not exactly the brain activities. Had this been the brain activities, like the firing of the neurons and sending the message to the brain and brain, interpreting it, then it would be same for everybody. But it's not happening. Why that feeling? So when we are talking about this consciousness as an experience, let's understand this, that consciousness is not a mind activity. It's not related to brain. Suppose this is consciousness and this is mind and I'm the body. So consciousness is let's say felt, or it shines through mind, through the body. So it is not related, it is apart from mind and body. It is never the same. And if we go to the philosopher Descartes, who said, I think, therefore I am.
Therefore,
If you,
perhaps like
yeah,
the
it's a very,
most famous statement in philosophy.
yes, yes, most famous statement. He said, I think, therefore I am. It's like he gave, brain and mind and this dualism, that mind and body are two different things, and yet they are connected. But then he's like people started questioning how something which is invisible like mind can direct a muscular movement. For example, suppose the mind says decides that you move the hand and the hand moves. How is it possible? So this dualism was on a debate for a long time. And then you have this, materialists who say that no, consciousness is just a brain activity, as we have discussed, like the firing of the neurons and all. And David Chalmer, we are talking about David Chalmer, who said that it's all about that yeah I mean this, when we are talking about this experience which Aryan pointed out, that uh, if he Krish feels something, sorry.
Okay.
So if like Aryan pointed out that if there is something which Aryan feels good about it, feels happy about it, how is it possible that you also would feel the same? I mean, same degree of happiness, same quality of happiness, if we can measure. So David Sharma gave this question: why then this brain activity feel like something at all? Like you have a cut in your hand, neurons send the message to your brain decides, I mean, interprets there is a cut, blood is flowing, that's fine. Okay.
Hmm.
But why this feeling of pain? At all, at all. Forget about the degree, how much pain you have, or he has. But why that feeling of pain? Or that feeling of happiness? Yes, to a certain extent, it has been explored that, like, scientifically, that there is the flow of hormones, endorphin, and all those, right? Which cause, but then
But you're
what?
hinting
Yeah.
at, I think you're hinting at like if those hormones release the hormones that help to fire particular neurons in our brain that help to
Yes.
feel that experience. I think
Yes.
what you're hinting is at is why that
Why
feeling
that?
altogether,
Yes.
even if
Why?
that hormones,
What does?
even if that horm-
Yes. What?
even if that
If
hormones are
those
going.
hormones? Yes.
Hmm.
Why that feeling? I mean, what does those? What do those hormones do to bring about those feelings? Is
I
it
think
not
there is a
something
term
different
for it.
than?
I think there is
Yeah.
a term for
Okay.
it. I think there's a term
Well,
for it called
I'd
qualia.
love to. Yeah, qualia, exactly, qualia, the subjective experience. It's not
Yes.
objective. It's not objective.
Hmm.
Very nicely, you have pointed out. It's called
Thank you.
qualia by David Chalmers. Yeah, and then we are exploring this so that we can have a better understanding of consciousness, and then we can have a clearer one. If not, it's we can't say its definition, but yes, an understanding of consciousness. So then we have like people who believe that in panpsychism, what exactly this panpsychism is, which says that consciousness is fundamental to every matter, to all matter. It's there everywhere, right? Whether it's
Hmm.
atom, electron, or it's there. Uh,
Could you explain it
it,
a bit more for the audience
yes, yes, sure,
to understand? Yeah.
sure. Yes, the theory of panpsychism says that consciousness is even there in the non-living thing. Everywhere it is there.
Hmm.
They call it as proto-consciousness, the
Hmm.
basic kind of
Okay.
awareness, the basic kind of
Hmm.
awareness that's called proto-consciousness. And so instead of thinking like the brains create consciousness, panpsychism, says that consciousness is built into matter itself, like energy, like gravity. Okay, it's
Hmm.
built in the matter itself. But here, as we move on to Sri Aurobindo's theory later on, I'll go to that. We will know that it's not exactly built over there; it's somewhere else, right?
Hmm.
I hope I made it clear. They said
Yeah.
that the
So I
matter,
just have a
everything.
question.
Yeah,
Sorry for interrupting you.
yeah, sure,
Is
sure. Please
that
go ahead.
uh is that so if like all matter, all non-living things have consciousness, right? That's what panpsychism hints at. So
Yes.
would like would say a rock, does this rock
Mhm.
feel some kind of pain or some kind of emotion that is unique to
No,
itself? Does it not?
no, it doesn't feel, no, it doesn't feel pain or whatever the feelings or emotions, because consciousness is there. But like it's not in the expressive state, you can say. I would explain in that way, not in the expressive state, or it's, let's say, it's hidden there. It's hidden there. Will it ever come out? We will go to that. Will consciousness ever come out from in some form or the other? We will go to that.
So is it
Okay, as
like
we proceed.
akin to a person in a coma or say a person sleeping because they have consciousness but it's kind of hidden, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can say, yeah, yeah, but then some would argue that if they relate consciousness with life, then they again would argue with this point. But yes, if we go back, I mean, if we go with the theory of Sri Aurobindo, then we would have a better explanation for this.
I have a question. I think this the answer to this question might be a little bit later on, but still wanted to ask it. So my question is, if let's suppose this pen is conscious, like proto-conscious, it's in a
Mm-hmm.
hidden state. That consciousness is in a
Mm-hmm.
hidden state. So
Mm-hmm.
when will that time come where I will see this pen as suddenly
As
be
a
conscious?
conscious being. Okay, as a
Yeah.
conscious being. Okay, that when will that time come? There is something called evolution. We will go to that. Evolution of consciousness. We'll go to that. Okay, and yeah. So, if we have to for understanding this, we have to detach consciousness from the body and mind. Consciousness is, we like it's a different entity altogether. Like it observes everything, like the screen of a movie screen, where all those actions and emotions, like the of the actors, is projected over there. Everything happens on that screen, but this, does the screen change? No, it doesn't change, right? So it is not affected. It observes everything. uh, there is this concept of uh, seeing and the seen. Consciousness sees everything, the object, the
Could you
experience, the
could you
yeah.
explain that through an example? I think I don't know. Okay,
Okay,
right.
okay, okay, all right. Uh, let's go to the characteristics of consciousness, because it's better that we understand that way. Like if we go to the scriptures, ancient scriptures, we will find there are five characteristics of consciousness. We call it Chetana, we call it Chaitanyam, Chit, or that way. So if we go to the those holy scriptures, and here I would like to tell you something very interesting. I was actually, because I'm talking about Vedanta and all those scriptures, ancient scriptures. Here, I came across an interview of Osho, the revered philosopher of all time, the thinker Osho. He said, like, uh, he talked about the about Freud and Jung, their philosophies, and he said something like, what that related to our scriptures.
Mhm.
This is very recent, like Jung and
Mhm.
Freud and other
True.
thinkers. They're very recent.
Mhm.
So he said something very interesting. Said, "What do you people from the West? What he was meaning? You people are, studying now. Our scriptures have laid down no way back. We are educated, since ancient times about this study." Okay, so going to from there, we can take this characteristic. See, let us understand this, that consciousness, it shines through the mind and, of course, through all the organs. That's there, and it's not a part of our body or mind. Third
Wait,
characteristics, it's
wait.
yeah.
I had a question. As you said, it shines through our body, but like it goes through our body. That's what you mean, consciousness, right? So how is it?
Okay, I'll give you an example of all these characteristics. Okay,
Okay.
let's first move on with these characteristics, and then I'll go to your question. And then it is apart. It is not connected. It is not connected with the body or the mind or with anything, but it pervades and illuminates the body and the mind, and enabling it to function. Fourth is, it's not limited to our body and mind. It's all pervading. It's all
So,
pervading
I
everywhere.
think I heard this uh, analogy somewhere. It's like you can think of the body as a receiver, as a radio station. So,
Yes, yes.
you can take the consciousness that is all pervading as this radio frequency. And when you
Yes.
go to a certain frequency, say
Mm.
94.3, and
Yes, yes.
the station is Pruthak. So when
Mhm.
94.3 plays, I'm there and I'm Pruthak. So I become Pruthak.
Yes.
And say it's
Mhm.
98.7 and it becomes Aryan,
Yes.
and so on. So is it like kind of the right way of thinking?
Aryan. Yes. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. The same analogy is there. Not the same. The similar analogy is there in our scriptures. Like they say that the consciousness is like an ocean, right? It's like an ocean. Just because I carry a cup of water from there doesn't mean that the water in the cup is any different than the ocean. Essentially, it's the same. So, yes, you're right. You're right. Ultimately, you are relating, both of you are connecting to that same transistor. Okay. So, consciousness is all pervading. And yeah, I would like to mention here that uh, mm, because that's very interesting, the origin of the universe. So you people means I'm talking about the recent, not the recent. Let's say the developments that happened all these years as regards the origin of consciousness, origin of the universe, and finally they said that there was a big bang and then it happened. Yeah, I
Right.
think that's what
Yes.
yeah
Yeah.
science said, big bang and then it happened.
Yeah.
But if you go connect this, if you think that from out of nothing, just a big bang happened and the universe is formed, uh, how logical it is than to think this way, that even when nothing was there, there was this consciousness pervading the entire universe, or whatever we can say, this entire space.
So, do you
So
mean that consciousness is
So
out,
yes,
like
co-
somewhere of like directly different from our own world, our whole world? Like, is consciousness something uh, like dimensionally away,
I
if
think,
I
yeah,
get
you
I
what?
mean to
get
say,
what Aryan is trying to say. I think
Mhm.
what I have the same question, like, is consciousness separate from all matter? Like, it's not matter's property that creates consciousness, but something else entirely. Like, this consciousness is a separate thing and it comes down to the
It
matter.
is, yes, it is different. Let us understand. It is not, it is connected, but it is different. It observes. It is just like the screen. If we take this analogy, it's the screen. It is not same as the actors or the music that's going on over there, right? It is a separate thing in this connection, in this regard, but it is connected and it is one. It is all pervading.
Okay, so I
Just
have a
like
What do you
in
question
exactly?
yeah,
pertaining to that.
yeah, like
Let's
yeah, okay,
Okay, so
yeah.
basically,
Mhm.
then why does consciousness, the separate thing, seem to be so vibrantly coming out of our brain specifically?
No, it's not coming out of your brain. Your brain has is rather coming out from consciousness.
Oh,
I have a question. I have a
It
question.
is the other way
That
around. We will come to
okay.
yeah, sorry, yeah, yeah. Please go on.
so like
Okay,
if I
can
cut
we do?
my hand.
Can you? Okay, okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
if I cut my hand, okay,
Yeah.
some part
Mm-hmm.
of my body is like detached from me. But as you said, consciousness
Sorry, some part
pervades.
of your
Even
body, some
I
part of
if
your
I if
body.
I if I cut my hand and
Mm-hmm.
it'll decay, it'll not get the blood. But as you said, the consciousness pervades through my body, but it is something entirely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is something
It is
entirely
separate,
different.
apart. Yeah, it's
Yes,
apart. Yeah.
yes. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still conscious even after I cut my hand,
Mm-hmm.
even after my hand is not attached to me. But
Okay.
as Pruthak said, why is it directly in the brain? But if someone shoots me in the head, I'll
Mm-hmm.
directly die. I'll not be conscious. So I think that's what Pruthak meant, that even after detaching my head, from me,
Mm-hmm.
I won't be suddenly conscious. But after detaching something like my hand, I'll still be conscious.
Mm-hmm. You'll still be
So
conscious. Of course, you'll be. Yeah.
yes. So why
Yeah.
is like brain activity so correlated to consciousness?
So poorly related.
No, correlated to consciousness.
Correlated. in fact our entire body is related. Entire body is related with the consciousness. It's not only for the brain, because if the brain feels something, without the body you can't experience that. You have to experience that feeling.
But I think what
And
Aryan was
that's
trying,
an instrument.
yeah, so
Mhm.
what Aryan was basically trying to say is like, if you cut your hand off,
Okay.
you won't feel, you
Okay.
would still feel the consciousness, but if you cut the head out, you won't feel the consciousness. So why is
The
there
head
this,
out. Okay. You are saying it's not about, I mean, you're talking about death. When you
basically,
cut
yeah.
your head, you are
Mhm.
you are dying, and you feel you will not be conscious. How do you say that you are not conscious even after death? I'll tell you something. Okay. I'll please remind me to come back to the characteristics of consciousness again.
Okay.
I'll tell you this one. When Socrates was given poison for reasons you know. Okay. So Socrates was asked to drink, forced to drink poison as a punishment because he differed in his opinion from the I think for the church, the opinion of the church. I think, if I'm not wrong,
No, I think it's the Greek council or something like that, maybe.
Greek council or something. Okay, so he was asked to drink poison and die. Okay, so when the he was loved by everyone, right? He was loved by everyone, and the man who was supposed to give him poison, who was about to give him poison, he was preparing the poison, and he was delaying. He was delaying. Okay, so Socrates said, "See, this is not right. You should not delay." And the man said, "Come on, Socrates, I'm crazy. I'm just giving you a little more time for to live by delaying to give you poison. I'm just giving you a little more moment of life so that you can live a little longer." Socrates says, "I have lived enough. There is nothing I have left unlived, and now I want to know death. I want to experience death." And when he says that I have not left anything unlived, what he means, he has lived his life with full awareness, with full consciousness. And now, when he says, I am going to know death, I am also going to see death. Who can say that? If you are detached from your body, only then you can say. If your consciousness is detached from your body, it's not related it's not let's say attached, not related. It's related, of course, not attached to the mind and the body. Only then you can say with full alertness that I want to see death now. Who can see? One who is away from the from the action. Right. So even when your head is cut, or even when your finger is cut, you are still conscious.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And that is how they say that even Sri Aurobindo says that there is consciousness even in the inert, even in the inanimate objects.
So if we're talking about inanimate objects, let's suppose we're talking about computers. So, computers are very
Yeah.
intelligent.
Okay.
We can term them
Yeah.
as intelligent, right? So,
Yeah. Of course, they are intelligent.
do you mean that, you know, because still, as you said, there is some sort of hidden consciousness in uh, the inanimate objects that we see.
Yes.
Does a
Okay.
computer which has intelligence could mean that it is conscious?
Okay. Uh, as let's understand this, that consciousness is not the intelligence related to your IQ. It is an intelligence beyond your physiological and psychological structure. Let us understand this. It is intelligence, but not related to IQ, right? So we can't say the computers are not conscious. If we are talking about inanimate object, yes, computers are conscious. But again, I would say, taking these theories into account, I would say, in the theory say that these the consciousness in these computers, that is in an hidden state, you can say.
So
Like
basically,
you
just
never
like
know.
all other matters are hidden,
Mhm.
computers,
Yes,
all
yes,
other
yes.
matters, consciousness is
Yeah,
hidden.
yeah.
The
Hidden.
computers. So,
Computers, AI, let's say AI, the robots, AI, even if they are learning things, like we know AI is learning a lot of chat GPT and all. They're learning a lot of things, and you give them the data. It's not about the data. They are processing the data. So brain is a similar activity, a similar you can say object. There are the data through our experiences, through our information, and the brain is it's not consciousness. Brain is processing it.
so would you say that you did say before that there are like evolutions of consciousness. So I'm guessing it's
Okay.
a hint towards like there's levels of consciousness. So even if a
Yeah.
rock has consciousness, which is hidden, it is still at a level much below, say, humans or say elephants. Would you say that
Yes,
there's
yes.
something that the brain influences?
Okay, I was talking about the features of consciousness, and can you just hold on your question for some time, and we will come back to that, because Aryan asked me a particular question, that to give example how it is detached, how consciousness is apart from the body and mind. Okay, so for that, let us so it's it's all apart from the body and mind, and it's all pervading. It's not limited to the body, it's even there. And without the body and mind also, it would still be there, but yes, may not be experienced sometimes. Like he said, if you're somebody is beheaded, is the person still conscious or not? Now let's take an example. Suppose there's a light somewhere here, right? There's a light, and I have my hand here. Yes, let's say hand is the let's say hand is the body and the mind, and light is the consciousness away. Okay, it's not a part, it's not a part, it's away, it's a part. Okay, it's all pervading. It illuminates my this body and mind, this light. Yeah, and it's not limited to this hand only. It is there in this entire room. Okay,
Right.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and it is known by the functioning of the body and mind. See, if the hand is not there, if if you can experience light only if it falls on something, let's say your body or some, otherwise you can't experience the light, right? So same is the consciousness, same is the consciousness, that
But
to experience
uh,
that.
but the light that falls on, say, a hand and say an elephant is the same, right? So how is this elephant experiencing a completely different kind
No,
of
no, it's
consciousness
no,
compared?
yeah, it can compare to. It's all in the process of evolution, that you can see, right? It's on the process of evolution, and like we can't say like an electron, an atom. Okay, electron and atom. They will evolve someday to become human beings, because consciousness is hidden, and someday they will be evolved and they become human. It's not that. So they will evolve in their own respect, in their to perform what they are supposed to. So elephant will evolve or experience that, have that consciousness, to experience the thing that, or to do his part in this universe.
Right, so just simplifying
Right.
what we have discussed till now,
Hmm.
as I
Hmm.
understand it,
Hmm.
please correct me if I'm wrong, is that there's only one consciousness and we all experience it. Every
We have different
inanimate
cups.
object, sorry?
Yes, yes, we have different cups. We have different, the how
Yeah.
much we are captured. Yeah,
So
yeah,
an inanimate object has a lower level of consciousness. So it
exactly.
experiences
Yes,
seemingly different kind of consciousness. And while we humans are seemingly a little up on the ladder, so we
yeah,
experience kind of a different consciousness. Except these
yeah.
two
We have,
consciousness,
let's
both
say,
the
yeah,
rock and the human, they're the same
yes,
consciousness, just viewed from different
yes.
perspectives. Is that correct?
Different perspective. Yes, yes, yes.
All
Exactly,
right.
exactly, exactly that. And that's precisely what I was trying to explain. Yeah, that's how. I mean, you if you go deeper into the ladder of consciousness, as because you were asking me if there are layers of consciousness. There are like, if we go to, uh, you know the consciousness, the normal level of consciousness, you have some layers below that and some layers above it. Okay. If you go to the Western philosophy, like we have been discussing, like Descartes uh, David Chalmers, Freud, and other people. So you'll observe that they have studied the consciousness below the normal consciousness, subconscious, unconscious, happening in the dreams, coming in those consciousness level. And if you come to the Eastern philosophers, they have studied, you know, the above the normal consciousness, that is super consciousness, supramind, and all those levels. In fact, in one of the I have read somewhere, or I have listened to somebody, some thinker, who was challenging the Western philosophers, that you people, you have studied these consciousness because your society, I don't want to sound very negative for this, but your society, people, maybe you are trying to bring people to a level of normal level of consciousness. That's why you did all those studies. And you wanted to bring those people to the normal level of consciousness, whereas we were trying to escape this level and go to another level. So that's how the difference. And he was the person was referring to this fact that in east, I mean, in our land, in our country, you wouldn't find any thesis, any research contributions who has done the research below this level. They have all gone to research or study the levels above this normal consciousness. So yes, there are levels of consciousness, and there's this to understand these levels of consciousness. I would go to the philosophy of Sri Aurobindo.
Okay, so what is it about Sri Aurobindo that makes him so unique in this sphere of conscious thought?
Sri Aurobindo is a pioneer in this study. Uh, I would consider him one of the greatest genius of the of this. I would consider him the greatest genius of this planet in this study, I would say. Uh, he his idea of consciousness is very deep, very profound, and is related to Vedanta. What Vedanta, it aligns with Vedanta's ideas of consciousness, but in different in some respect, and this difference is what makes him unique. He explains that when we're talking about this levels of consciousness, because the idea of consciousness is more or less same. with the Vedanta. So I'm not going again to explain that. But let's go to the levels of consciousness that he has put forth. Uh, he explains that we usually live on the surface mind. Normally, a human being lives on the the surface mind, a part that thinks with reasons, with logic. So we normally stay at that level. But beneath this level, according to Sri Aurobindo, beneath this level and above this level, there are many levels of consciousness. Uh, Below this level, I'm not going deep into that because it might be too technical. Uh, I've selected a few so that we can discuss that. So below this level, there is this subconscious. Below the surface level, you have the subconscious. In this level you have all those old habits, impressions, those things that lie in the subconscious. And there is this subliminal level, a deeper inner awareness, but we don't usually notice this. uh, like suppose like you are driving in a car, and a music is played, or you are sitting in a cafe and a music is playing. You normally don't notice the music playing in the background. You're sipping coffee, but somehow you feel it gives you a feeling. You don't notice it. You don't notice it conscious, but it gives you a feeling, maybe a good feeling, bad feeling, whatever, a sad feeling maybe, but it's giving you a feeling. Okay. And then within us, there is a vital consciousness. It's connected to our emotions, energy, and desires. And in the body, you have physical consciousness, the bodily awareness that tied to our sensations, the awareness. But above this ordinary mind, this ordinary surface level, uh, you have higher planes of thought and perception. And he has given a few levels. I have taken two, that is overmind and supermind, for this show, because that's would make us understand. Uh, and So overmind, he says that it's we'll go deeper into that. Let me just give you this idea. Overmind, it's related to vast cosmic awareness. And supermind, the highest level, where that he says we connect with the divine. It can be God, it can be the creator, it can be the ultimate power, ultimate consciousness. He says if we achieve that super mind, then we will be able to connect with that. And that happens,
So,
he says, through,
sorry
yeah,
for interrupting you. So, is this supermind, you said that we connect with the divine. So, is it like,
yes.
is the supermind on the same level as the divine, as in the divine has some kind of
Uh, mm,
conscious level, right? So, is it
yes.
similar to that level, or is it below it, or is it just connecting to it?
No, it is definitely, because that's why he says it's super mind. It is definitely a level away. And why that is higher, I'll explain that. What happens in that level that it is higher than the surface level. Okay. If he says that in when we are trying to, why in fact, when we are feeling this pain, this suffering, and all these things, if we say consciousness is apart from the body and mind, and when there is this suffering, okay, can we say consciousness is suffering? We can't, because consciousness is observing that the body is suffering, the mind is suffering, as per our discussion earlier. Uh, as per Sri Aurobindo, consciousness is never a byproduct of the brain or activity or anything of that sort, anything of that kind. He says that consciousness is the driver of evolution. When we are evolving, he defies, not defies, but he says to a certain extent, Darwinian theory of evolution is okay, right? It's okay. And beyond, because we have understood that with the Darwinian theory, that all those survival of the fittest and all those things are there. So we have evolved into the best version of the intelligent being, of the species, or whatever you can say, the living being. And that's ultimate. So according to Darwinian theory, this is the utmost level of evolution,
I
highest
mean,
level.
is
Beyond
that
that, it's
correct?
not
Because,
possible.
like, no, I don't think Darwinian theory explicitly states that this is the highest level of evolution ever. It's
No,
just the
but the
highest point
the
of
theory is,
evolution till now. So it doesn't like we could
yeah,
still evolve,
no,
you know?
it's no, evolve in what sense? With the limbs, can will we have four limbs, five limbs, or four legs? What?
Perhaps, but just hopping on to
Or you are
another
in terms
question
of
there.
it?
Just
Okay.
hopping on to another question there. It's like
Yeah.
uh, when life first started appearing on Earth around what 4.5 billion years ago or something like that. The first beings, first organisms, first forms of life, they were they were like very single-celled. They were single-celled, very basic, and
Yes, yes.
and the
Yeah,
consciousness
yeah.
we suppose,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
the
sorry to interrupt
consciousness
you.
to
You may
okay.
continue. Yeah, just
Mhm,
just a second.
mhm.
Here we can because you talked about the unicellular organisms, like the first living being on this planet. Uh, so we have Sri Aurobindo has stated that there is consciousness even in the rock, even in the inanimate object, and everywhere. Okay, and scientists still don't exactly let's say accept it or support this
No, no,
idea.
I'm not
Even a
talking about
logical mind.
that. If I
No,
just
no,
may interrupt.
yeah, I know your question is different, but since
Yeah.
you reminded me of this, so I'd like to tell you this, that how consciousness is uh, we can logically say that even in the inanimate object there is consciousness. How logical we can say that some we can say with this explanation that from the non-living being, uh, if they do not, I mean, what is, we know that the living being come out from the thing called protein. The like the when they evolve, the proteins are the first or let's the basic life forms from where the complex forms uh, get evolved. So protein is an inanimate, it's not a living being. So, what is this connection? How from there, a non living thing, we have this living? What is this connection? So, that is where Sri Aurobindo's theory actually of consciousness, that there is consciousness even in the inanimate objects, that it holds good here. That because there
Right.
is consciousness, so there is
Uh,
this connection. Yeah.
I have
Sorry, you may
another
continue with the
question.
question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah, sure.
another
Hmm.
question. So this, when consciousness first emerged, it was this basic life form. It was in this basic life form and supposedly of very rudimentary level too, right? Because inanimate objects have like a lower level of consciousness. So a microorganism, say a bacteria or a protozoa, they would
Hmm.
also have
Hmm.
a lower level of consciousness, at least
Consciousness.
compared to
Hmm.
higher life forms like mammals and birds and
Hmm.
whatever. So
Okay.
we have seen that through billions of years of natural evolution by uh,
Hmm.
all these methods of evolution, like
Hmm.
the survival of the fittest, basically what you said earlier, that
Hmm.
produced somewhere along the line, that produced higher forms of consciousness. So if consciousness is completely separate to matter, it's not a property of matter, then how does this consciousness get increasingly complex as as life forms get more complex? Matter gets more complex, I mean to say.
No, we again, that is this question. I would say it's not so that the as the form gets the life form gets complex, the consciousness also gets complex. We have it may not be so. It may not be so. We think that way because we are the highest form of consciousness as of now, and we look at lower form like a cat or dog or somebody, and we think that yes, we are, the most intelligent being, and we are the best evolved consciousness that has happened till now. But we don't know. The cat may be even even best, or let's say the best, may have the best form of consciousness. Just because it is in the form of a cat doesn't mean that his consciousness is not evolved. How can we say that?
Oh, so if I'm
Yeah.
getting this right, Aurobindo never explicitly defined what the level of consciousness are. So a rock could have a higher level of consciousness than humans. Is that correct?
Yeah, could have. Just because in the hidden form doesn't mean that it is in the mean form of consciousness. No.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, and he gave two theories how that this inert matters they have consciousness. From where did it get consciousness? How did so he gave these two theories: involution and evolution, right? And he said that this through he felt that the universe is a play of consciousness, according to him. That he called it Leela, and we also have this terminology in our scriptures as well. He describes this movement called involution, where consciousness descends into matter. We have consciousness all pervading in the universe everywhere. So consciousness descends into matter, where it hides itself, become forgetful of its own. Like you bring a cup of water from the ocean, the water inside may forget that it belongs to the ocean. So it descends into the matter. Question arises, why it descends again and becomes forgetful and hides itself. So he says that what Sri Aurobindo says, that consciousness wants to experience its own rediscovery through this journey of involution and again evolution. The
So do you mean the
consciousness
So
itself,
universe is trying to experience itself?
that's what Sri Aurobindo says. That this happens because even when I was studying this, I was slightly way back when I was writing the thesis. I said, why again consciousness should come and again move back? So somewhere he has mentioned that, not somewhere in his writing, he's mentioned that it is that it wants to experience its own rediscovery, because that's why he says that this entire universe is a play of consciousness. It is not
so are
static.
we just like toys of consciousness, perhaps?
Sorry.
Are we like toys of consciousness then?
Toys of that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, could be toys of consciousness. Could be. It's playing with us. It's coming. Maybe it's like, if we think that way, it's descending itself, hiding somewhere, again trying to evolve and going back there to be
Just
one with
like
the to
in
align.
a video game, say I'm a character and I play,
Okay.
say, Minecraft, I build things and whatnot.
Okay.
So is the
Okay.
consciousness doing the same thing with us?
We don't know. Could be. Could be. Could
I
be.
have I
It
I
could
have
be
a
that.
quite dumb question. I just wanted to ask, uh,
No, sure, sure.
eh, uh, why is consciousness doing this? Why is it
That's
trying
what.
to rediscover itself? Why
Rediscover,
is it?
that's a $1 million question. Maybe if I go deeper into Sri Aurobindo's studies, maybe I'll answer your question some other podcast. If you
Okay,
have me
sure.
some other day, sure, I'll do that. That was my question actually. Why again? Otherwise, I was thinking this way, that otherwise this universe would be static, and as we know, everything. In the entire space, everything is in a dynamic form. uh, it's not static. It's not static. So maybe it's one of those processes to make to keep the momentum in the universe. Maybe I am not very sure
Like
of this.
consciousness is bored, so it's just trying to, rediscover.
Could be like people when they are asked, sometimes when they are asked like if you're asked to stay in a paradise for a long long time, you'll be bored of the paradise, like Adam and Eve. So Eve that's wanted to experience something different, to at least to go to some other world. Maybe there are sufferings there, but at least she would has experienced something new, not the same goody goody type of thing over there. Maybe, could be. The- we don't know, right? So that's what, and that's evolution. And then through evolution, gradually it re-emerges, right? First as life, then mind, then eventually to the higher forms of consciousness. uh, he actually believes that this evolution is not genetic, it is the evolution of consciousness.
Another question,
So
slightly off
nearly,
topic that I
because you
have,
asked,
a
okay,
slight
no,
off
because you said
topic
that, like,
question.
yeah, you,
Sorry to
Prithak, you asked
interrupt
me
you.
that,
I
yeah,
just have
okay,
a question I
yeah,
just needed to ask.
yeah, sure,
All this
sure.
is very reminiscent of this type of supermind and overmind and whatnot. This is very similar to Nietzsche's philosophy. Now, I haven't delved too deeply in Nietzsche until
Okay.
now, but as I understand it, what Nietzsche's core
But
idea
he has,
in
I think, told that as organisms grow complex, consciousness also goes complex. That's, I think, Nietzsche has said this.
I'm not too sure about that, but what he did say in
Okay.
Thus Spoke Zarathustra, his like magnum opus, is
Mhm.
that humans should strive to be Ubermensch. Now, Ubermensch is
Over?
Ubermensch. That's a German word
Okay.
for Superman,
German word. Hmm.
not the
Hmm.
kind the
Yes.
superhero Superman, but a Superman in
No, yeah.
morality, in a kind of evolved human.
Okay. Yes,
Does
yes.
this
Okay,
ring?
okay.
This rings a bell about this all
Yes,
this
I'll,
talk about
yes.
overmind and supermind too. So
Sure,
is
sure.
it
This
kind
is,
of similar?
yes, yes, it is related. Yes, yes. I'm going there. Like, what is the characteristics of supermind that we have, unless we know, like, how do you achieve that? Uh, you know, when you achieve this one, supermind, which is a creative force, it says that it bridges the uh, inanimate and the let's say the lower form of consciousness and the highest form, between the ordinary and the divinity. It says that there your ego dissolves. When you reach that, nothing matters. There, the mind doesn't have to think; it knows the truth. You achieve that state. You know the truth. Truth is like why you are here, the purpose, everything is very clear over there. That's why he mentioned that Sat Chit Anand. When he talks about this, he says it's truth, existence, bliss. Bliss is of utmost happiness. He says once you are there, you are one with that super mind. Uh, yeah. Okay. So once you have that, you will find you dissolve your ego. You don't have any ego, and all those baser instincts gets dissolved, and you are into a very high state of mind, where you know everything, you know the truth, you know everything. You don't have to analyze. You don't have to. The mind stops to think, because it knows the truth it seeks. It knows the truth it
Yeah,
seeks. So
that
it doesn't have to.
that you did say that Aurobindo is very inspired by Vedanta philosophy. That
Yes,
does
yes, yes, yes.
remind me that in
Tell it is.
Vedanta, that
Mhm.
ultimate goal of any life is to like experience truth, because truth is bliss,
Yes,
you know. So is
bliss.
this
Yes.
that truth that they were trying to
Yeah.
refer to?
Yeah. Even regarding this bliss, there's a deism theory. Deism. if you have heard about that, it says that the creator has created us. It doesn't interfere in our working. So happiness, according to that theory, happiness is in evolving into a better being. That's where happiness is. So coming back here, yes, you are right that same with the it as I said, Sri Aurobindo's theory aligns with Vedanta. Only in some respect it is different. In this respect, that you know, as involution, where the consciousness descends and then hides and then again reemerges, and this most important is that he says that you don't have to escape into another level. You can bring that supermind here onto this earth. That's why he says you don't have to be spiritual or to evolve in consciousness. You don't have to abandon the materialism. He says this body, the material being, this earth, this life is the instrument through which consciousness gets evolved. If you keep the body, it is a part, but without the body, you can't. The consciousness even can't evolve. That's what he says. So he says that you can descend that supermind here onto this. That's why his magnum opus. He says that he's written all this most of this his ideas are reflected over there. He has. Gave the title of the book as Life Divine, not Divine Life. You are not attaining divine life. You are attaining life divine. Your life is becoming divine here itself, on this very planet, on this
So
very earth.
instead of
You don't have to
ascending to
escape somewhere.
divine, you're bringing the divine to you.
Yes, you ascend
I
to a
think that's
certain level.
yeah, it's a very
Yes,
unique
where
thought
you,
to be honest.
it
It's a
is a
very
very
unique
unique thought.
thought.
Yes,
I
yes,
think normally people would think that you're ascending to, let's suppose, heaven,
escape.
or let's
Yes,
suppose that supermind. But you're bringing that
yeah,
supermind down. I think that's very
yeah.
interesting.
Yes, and that's what he has mentioned in his in Magnum Opus Savitri, where Savitri, as the main character, she through integral yoga and all, he has given the ways how he can become that supermind.
Okay, so I think that's all that we have time for today. To just end with a summarization, I think we have discussed a lot today. It's gonna be a long episode, and we have discussed a whole bunch of things today about consciousness, everything from starting with the what exactly is consciousness. We saw how consciousness isn't just this intelligence or this IQ. It's about feeling, it's about emotion, and how this Western philosophers viewed this about dualism, about uh, David Chalmers and Thomas Nagel's uh, discoveries in 20th century, and we tackled with the hard problem of consciousness, and then we moved on to Eastern philosophy. We discussed about Sri Aurobindo, we discussed about Vedanta, and how Sri Aurobindo thinks that there are levels to consciousness. There is the supermind, there's this overmind, there's the subconscious, and all the things that make up the consciousness. Consciousness isn't just this separate feeling. It's the same thing. It's the uh, as Miss Mohanty said, Dr. Mohanty said that in the ocean of it's the ocean of consciousness that we just take a part of, take a dip of, right? And we have basically covered most of Eastern philosophy on consciousness, obviously on the surface level. And Aryan, I guess you had some thought to share, right?
So yeah, before we end, I had a quote in mind. It's from a book that I read. It's called Geometry for Ocelots. It's about religion. It's about science. Just like meshed up into one. And it's also about consciousness that we're discussing right now. And the quote is about consciousness. So I'll just state the quote. It was with love and contempt and distance and width the unconditional declaration that consciousness was but one floating branch caught in the great river of becoming. And I think that quote relates to what we talked about, what we are, and it's just so profound. What do you think about it, ma'am?
Yeah, I think you have rightly. This quote has actually given a end line to this one. I just say that yes, it's just not awareness, as we have we read some, we get to know from uh, many sources. It's just not awareness. It's a force, a shaper of reality, and it can be consciously evolved through spiritual practice. And yes, we are not static beings. We are a bridge between what we are and what we could be. And who knows, if we become what we could be, that is the supermind, then maybe we can bring some harm into this chaotic world.
All right.
That's really profound.
Yeah. Thank you
I
for,
think that
yeah, that's
Yeah.
all we have time for. Thank you, ma'am, for spending this time with us. And thank you to all the viewers watching and listening to this. And goodbye. This is the double take. Thank you.
Thank you so
bye
much.
bye
Bye.
bye bye.
Bye.